Welcome to the Tail Slate. Today we are talking Survivor, and it's episode 8 that we are talking
Already.
about. Already episode 8. So the big news of this one is who got booted out? Nick. And I can't say that I was at all sad about that.
Well, it changes from episode to episode because you can be the front runner, you can be in good shape, and then all of a sudden they become arrogant. They become, Peter, and then they change, and all of a sudden now nobody's going to stop me. I can say whatever I want to whoever I want, and of course that ticks people off, and then you're gone.
Yeah. Arrogance in your confessionals is one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Arrogance in front of the rest of the tribe is another. That's what gets you kicked out. Arrogance in the confessionals will only show up if you're screwing up in the game. Like if you're saying, I'm in charge of this whole game now. In your confessionals, if nothing's going to happen to you, they won't show that. If you're going to get booted out, that's when they show that.
So we know a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff. How
yeah.
If you're looking for idols and the camera doesn't follow you, forget it. It's nowhere
Yeah.
near it. And I've noticed that too. That if their cameras, if you're watching the show and they're talking about you as being, I'm the one in charge. You're thinking, you're going home.
Mm-hmm.
Something's wrong with you, because otherwise. And same thing when somebody does one little annoying thing, he'll probably do it 1 or 2 times in 2 hours, but they'll show it again and again and again, and you make it look like he does it all day long.
Yeah. But what did you think of the way the group came together to get rid of him? I thought that was really good.
At the very beginning of the episode, the very first thing that I wrote down was Revenge of the Nerds. And that's exactly what I was thinking through the whole show. Is, they're always talking about, well, that's it. The Brawn and the Beauty are hooking up. We're voting off the brains one at a time. That's it. And I'm thinking, that means that's not going to happen.
Yeah. And Nick screwed up by talking to Aubrey and telling her basically the whole plan. We're splitting the votes between you and Debbie. So you vote the way that you think might help you. So now she has that info. She can go back, and when they do start to realign where the votes are going, she knows, well, they're going to be voting half there and half there. So we don't need to get a ton of people. We just need enough.
Why do they always feel like splitting votes? I get the idol thing, but especially when you think you know where the idols are, you know the people that have them, I always just vote for one person. Why take that extra risk? If they have an idol, then they win that one anyways.
Yeah.
They're not going to blindside you, at least.
Yeah. Speaking of idols, Ty should keep his mouth shut. What the heck was that?
How many times do we curse at the TV going, stop blabbing your mouth, people?
Yeah, we don't know if there's an idol, but then we heard there's a super idol. And nobody's heard about that except you and the other people that have the idols.
And all of a sudden Julie's going, wait a minute, I didn't hear about this.
Oh, but maybe that wasn't true. Maybe somebody told me. I wonder if that's why he voted for Jason. Maybe he thought, because Jason told, but he had read the same thing, so he knew. I don't know. That was just weird. And then he tried to back out of it. Like, well, maybe that wasn't what I heard. I don't know. Somebody else.
Good effort.
It was terrible. Oh, boy.
I have said that long time, though, many times, and it's frustrated me to no end from other seasons when the weaker people seem to align together eventually. Mm-hmm. Not just the strong physically people, but the strong players. Mm-hmm. And they never seem to be able to hold it together because all of a sudden they realize somebody's near the bottom, and they'll join the weak people, and the weak people take over, and next thing you know, Cochrane wins. And so it's the same thing now. You have Debbie, Joe, Aubrey, Julia, all of a sudden going, yeah, we're pretty low on... Now they're in charge.
And Cochrane even had a shout-out in this one. Aubrey mentioned him at Tribal. She's his ideal girlfriend. Let's go back a bit to the reward for ice cream, where they had to stand on those posts in the water. That would be very difficult, but it was a complete blowout.
Did they get 3 steps on Aubrey's team?
I don't even think so. I think that maybe 2.
And they tried different people.
Yeah. That was just nuts.
And at the beginning, Jeff was talking about the teams going, oh, it just seems like it's one-sided. And I'm going...
Well, he said one team sort of took the approach of having some big and some small, and the other was sort of all even sizes. Once Scott stepped on that platform, though, I was worried that nobody else would fit. But I guess they could all hang on to him.
Yeah. So I thought the teams were even at the beginning. I thought, well, you get two kind of strong people, and then two kind of weaker people on each team.
Yeah, but obviously one team blew them out.
I think it was half because Julia just had great balance.
Yeah.
She was able to recover a couple of times.
But also you notice the blue team, with a lot of the time they were tipping their
poles were much more crooked. And so,
which makes it really hard for whoever's on top of it. Then we had the immunity challenge, which was actually pretty cool. They had to hang on to something and then had this tiny little platform for their feet. And obviously would hurt very, very quickly. I found in that that's one of the times Nick was way too arrogant about the brains. And actually Ty also mentioned, we know it's going to be one of the brains, and he probably shouldn't have said that. But then Nick was like incredibly arrogant about it.
It makes me want to do that challenge though. Because when I first looked at it, I went, this doesn't seem that bad. You just kind of put your feet and you're holding on.
Yeah.
And then it was within 5 minutes they were starting to go, oh.
Yeah.
I thought, wow, this is pretty hard.
I did like sort of the banter between Ty and Sydney when they were the last two left.
The mighty redwood.
Yeah, Ty was kind of like a Jedi master or like a Buddhist monk up there. I mean, he was praying to Buddha as well.
The bamboo.
That's right, flexible, I can bend. It was almost very inspirational. You're like, wow, that's pretty cool.
And it had ended exactly the way he said.
Yeah.
The mighty redwood just
cracked and fell down to the ground. It was kind of nice though afterwards. I was almost emotional to how Ty actually did go over to congratulate her. It's like they're crawling on the ground. He goes over, hugs her kind of thing. So that was kind of cool. And then Sydney's playing well. I like Sydney. She's the one who came up with the plan to get rid of Nick.
Well, she's the one that started the paranoia.
Yeah.
She was the one that, everybody's against me now. What's going on? And we love paranoia. It makes for great television when everybody starts going. And all of a sudden, Sydney needed subtitles because we couldn't understand what she was saying
whispering?
there. No, she was just speaking strangely. I was like, whoa, she's a different person all of a sudden when she gets riled up.
Yeah. But, so that plan worked out really well. Got rid of Nick. I'm trying to think what else stood out. I mean, it was an interesting episode. We got a good result at the end of it. Not a lot happened, but the little things that did happen were good.
Strategy-wise, we like to talk strategy and what would you do. And a couple of the guys, namely Jason, opened up, talking about his daughter with autism. Yeah. And it was kind of tender and touching for people to see a little bit more into their personal lives. So half of me thinks, man, that's a really good idea. You're making yourself a little more vulnerable and opening up, and people are going to vote for you because they realize, hey, you're a... But then the other half are going to go, gee, this guy's
cynical about it. Or,
he's a good threat to win now. And Scott opened up as well.
Yeah, I think it's good if you open up and it is genuine. If you come across as, I'm doing this specifically to try and get sympathy, that's not good.
And I don't think they did.
No, I think he was fine. Yeah, he was totally fine with that. Thoughts on who you'd like to win and who you think can win still?
Well, Survivor always has twists and turns, and there's still one more big one to come. It certainly looks like the weaker people and possibly the all-girl alliance that they talk about. Seems like every show, and there's never seems to be an all-guy alliance, but the women seem to outsmart them in that area. It's like, they'll pick us off one by one unless we start first. So, if I had to pick somebody, I might even go with Sydney.
I'm thinking Sydney has a good shot. Because I'm looking at the others. Michelle, you know what? She's playing a little bit better now, and I like her slightly more. So it's a possibility. Debbie, I still don't think has a chance at all. Jason, I don't think he'll make it to the end. I don't think so. Scott, he could make it to the end, but I don't think he'll win.
I think he's in the minority now. Those guys
Aubrey, possibly. If she makes it to the end, she has a chance. Julia, I don't think she has a chance. Joe, no chance. Ty, I would love to see win. If he makes it to the end, he probably wins. What would his route be, though, to get to the end? How can he get to the end? Keep winning immunities.
Well, I don't even think he needs that because he's not going to be an immediate target, I don't think.
So he's okay for a little while, and then he has his immunity idol. But towards the end, he's going to need to have immunities because people are going to see how likable he is.
Yes, all you need is one, maybe two.
At the right time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I think everyone loves Ty. You gotta love him.
He's great. Yeah.
But that's why he becomes a threat to take to the end. Although I will say, in defense of Julia, I thought she's started to play much better.
Yes.
Part of it is the camera. She got not as much camera time. You didn't see a whole lot about her. But she is playing the game. She has some strategy now. She did well in the challenge, picked the teams right.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, okay, now she's starting to go, yeah, I'm not going to just follow everybody else's light. No, I'm going to, let's come up with a new strategy.
So what are you looking forward to for the rest of the series?
Well, we're saying, this next episode, I think, will be the next one to might have some twists in it, and then it'll kind of sort itself out. We thought at the beginning of this episode, it's kind of 7 against 3. This could make it easy, but now, of course, everything's switched up. So is it going to stay now?
True.
Or is it going to be now, you've got 6 against 3 now, and it'll just start getting down to waiting for a few more weeks before you start to... So I think this next week is going to be the deciding one.
The deciding one, okay.
Whether it gets a lot more twist still or a few weeks of, pick off 1-1-1.
Well, we'll see. So I hope you're watching Survivor. I hope you're enjoying it like we are. And keep watching our little recaps. And we'll see you next week.